with 35 plus and another trip to the finals for Steph.
Paul Antunes, ESPN Brazil. Early on in the postseason, you had some good games. You also had some games where maybe you didn't shoot the ball as well, and then KD gets hurt. And you're just basically a monster out there, and I mean that in a great sense. Just scoring 33 in that second half against Houston, and then it seems like every other game here is either 36 or 37 points. What changed for you mentally? It seems like there was maybe a different gleam in your eye there in the last few games, and congratulations on the 5th appearance consecutively in the finals.
Appreciate it. I mean, obviously the situation called for more aggressiveness. The way KD was playing up until the time he got hurt, we had a certain balance and a certain look as a team, and I think every guy took the challenge, when he went out to step up and play a little bit more aggressive. Myself, Draymond, what he did in the series is unbelievable. Clay on both ends of the floor. Draymond, what he did in the series is unbelievable. Clay on both ends of the floor. And then the collection of bench guys and role guys that really helped us in the series. Everybody knew what the challenge was, and every game we hit the reset button and knew it was going to be another dogfight, no matter what the score was, how many points we got down, play 48 minutes, and I think we just played with confidence. We've been here before, and we've been through a lot of different experiences, and championship mentality showed down the stretch tonight, and just find a way to get it done in advance.
Steph, John Dickinson, 95-7, the game in San Francisco. Just what does it mean to you to reach a 5th straight finals? It's something that hasn't been done since the Celtics dynasty. I mean, just to kind of put that into context if you can.
I mean, it's really hard. We understand, one, how hard it is to win a playoff game versus let alone a series, and sustain this level of success. I mean, honestly, even after 2016 and having that, terrible feeling in our gut walking off the floor, being able to bounce back and just have that resiliency. And I think the way that we play, we don't take anything for granted. Every single night, especially when we get to the playoffs, there's a hunger about us, and whether we win or lose, we take pride in how we play. And 5 straight finals and the historic nature of what that is kind of crazy to think about. We want to enjoy it. We know 4 more wins defines your season, winning a championship, so stay locked in.
Marel Hoops Israel. Throughout the playoff, you were able to win on the road. Going to the finals, where for the first time you won't have a home court. Do you see it as an advantage or disadvantage? The ability to win on the road and not having a home court.
I think there's talk last year when we went to Houston in the Western Conference Finals without home court that it was a different experience for us, and we obviously answered the call on that. So I wouldn't say it's an advantage because the term is home court advantage, but Game 7 and having that at home. But for us, having been there 5 straight times, and whoever we play will be their first time in a while, like, we got to be able to come in Game 1 with the right mindset. Be plenty of time to talk about that, in the next 10 days. But last year's Western Conference Finals will definitely help us in terms of having that experience, having start on the road. We won Game 1 and figure it out from there.
Front row on the right, please.
Steph, Jeffrey Ciano with the Oregonian. Can you talk about how the team was able to turn up the defense in the 4th quarter and overtime to win the game?
Honestly, that's been the MO of this entire series. Our second half defense has been phenomenal, and being able to sustain that, down the stretch and just make them take tough shots. Obviously, it could have gone a different way. They could have made them, and whatever the case is. But our level of focus and energy on that end of the floor was phenomenal. It was winning, basketball on that end of the floor. And our main guys, Draymond, Clay, even Kevon tonight was spectacular on that end of the floor. Anytime we had a chance to leave our imprint on that end of the floor and give ourselves a chance to win, we did that.
Second row on the right.
Steph, Mark Schwartz, ESPN, you talk about the hunger that is in your group. What creates that hunger, and how much does trust play into all of what you guys accomplish when you're down, as much as you're down in games in this series?
I mean, I think as much as we've been here and nothing's really new at this point, we still don't, like I said, take anything for granted. We understand how hard it is to win at this level, and we don't want it to end. Personally, as long as we can control it. So a night like tonight where you're up 3-0, they go on a crazy run in the second half. A lot of teams would have said, we'll just get them game 5 and go home and rely on our home crowd, but the trust, using your word in terms of knowing that everybody was going to play until the horn sounded at the end of the fourth quarter or tonight overtime, allowed us to dig deep and find just a way to win. So you can sit here and talk about every single guy that stepped foot on the floor tonight that came with that mentality. And we walk off the court with some fancy hats and celebrating, 5th straight finals, and it's a pretty special moment.
Last question, second row left.
Steph, Tom Ward, Coin TV. When I asked Clay what the difference between the 4 games in the regular season where you split with these guys was between the 4 games here in the postseason, he said the key word there was regular season. Is that where you guys are like flipping the switch or finding another gear? Is that the way you see it?
I mean, honestly, the only game that I think we struggle is the one that was right before All-Star break. We were kind of checked out. Myself included, I was going back to Charlotte, all that type of stuff, but there's a different intensity in the playoffs just naturally because, it's win or go home, and we know how to find that next gear, and it comes with the experiences that we've been through. It's so hard over 82 games to elevate to that level on a nightly basis, but when it matters most, we have nights like tonight where we just find a way and take team's best shots and run with it. So proud of everybody that helped make this a reality to be back in the finals and 4 more wins and get back to celebrating.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Time now for the big time play of the night presented by DXL. It's not how many you make, it's the big ones. And Draymond, this is nothing new. Seems like at least once a series, we get one of these. They find the right shot. Even if they miss it, they miss the right shot. And for the Warriors, everybody got their play in. But for Steph Curry, most points in an NBA postseason history by a player in a 4-game sweep, 146 points, eclipsing the 145 by Shaq in 2002, 144 by LeBron in 2012, 140 by Kobe 2001. So that's a pretty good list. Mm-hmm. He has once again proved, I think, not just as we kind of put a bow on this, the player he is, GA, but the leader he is. Because the way that he bounced back look, he was not shooting incredibly well. Then KD goes out. That's what I think people were like, well, wait a minute, how are you going to go from that? It wasn't even like he was playing like Steph. To be able to lead the way he has is just another notch on the belt here for Steph.
Oh, no doubt about it. And listen, I don't think there was a question as to whether or not he could still be this efficient or successful when he was aggressive to score it. But when they had KD, it just wasn't, the necessity wasn't there. Having said that, and as impressive as this is, I think they would be better served if KD did come back for the finals. We still don't know how that's going to play out. Yes, you would.
They got a break. They got time.
Yeah, they got some time. That's why this game was so big.
Yes.
I think that's why that point of emphasis, because not only is it the break for those guys that are injured with Cousins, but it's also from Steph and Clay and Draymond, because they've had to do so much more in the absence of those guys, right? They've had to extend themselves. Look at the minutes they've played. He's never played this many minutes in games that weren't overtime games. He had a 44-minute or 43-minute game earlier.
Played the whole second half in overtime tonight.
Yeah, so like he can use the break as well mentally because this is their 5th consecutive final.
Could you even imagine we get KD and Boogie? It's like we've seen them all play together for like 3 minutes.
That wouldn't even be fair.
Then it's, I mean...
I mean, I'm going to watch anyways, but it definitely wouldn't be fair.
What stands out to you about the exclamation point the Warriors have put on? Already, look, they're going to want to obviously close this thing out and win it. But getting to 5 straight the way... Because every path has been different, and every journey, you guys know, every season's got different challenges. But having a new one to get there this time.
I'll say this, especially with KD being out.
Yeah.
Every year, GMs say, how can we beat the Warriors? And they adjust their team to get guys to kind of play along and say, hey, this matchup is good. They've beaten all those matchups that were good. And you've not done it 1 year. You've not done it 2. You've done it 3, 4, and 5. You're back to the finals. You've shown that who you drafted, who comes in here, doesn't matter. Second round, first round, trades. Everybody who comes in here is going to play at our level, and we're going to play at championship level. Now, Houston has adjusted. Utah's tried to adjust. Portland has got a team that was supposed to be able to match up, and they've beaten that all over the course of these years. So that consistency of that championship level is impressive enough. And I do, I live in Portland, so I got to tip my hat. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see where Portland goes after this. You've shown that you can compete at that level. Now, where do you take your young guys? Who do you get in free agency? How do you adjust your team? But, watching CJ and Dame and these guys and, my guy Rufus from Rodney Hood, I'm proud of them, and it's exciting, and I'm proud of that city.
Every year somebody tries to find a weakness, right, in a superhero. This year it was, they're not deep enough. That was when they had KD. Yeah. They got no KD, no Cousins, no Iguodala.
Yeah.
And then, oh, by the way, Livingston's still there. Did you think Jordan Bell would start? How about Looney? How about Bogut being back? How about Quinn Cook? The list goes on.
McKinney.
McKinney.
Step up. Yeah.
Jerebko.
Yeah.
Have we mentioned your name at home?
Yeah.
We'll see you next time on Game Time. Congrats to the Dubs.